hello, my friends. It's your boy DM Aaron Raphael Amin, along with my favorite party, being Ohio Hex, Ibrahim QK, and Connor. I always forget because you switched your handle, Ibrahim, and now I know how people feel when I switch my handle because the old one just kind of sticks. So that's my bad. Um, as always, really do appreciate you guys joining us. It's Leap Day. As far as I'm concerned, it's a holiday. Whether that's because it's Leap Day or Final Fantasy VII just came out, that is up for you to decide. If you're not joining us today because you're playing a good game, I can't blame you, but I will be a little sad. Either way, as always, check out our QR code. Our friends are there, Mates of Fate, Beyond the Review Podcast, TT Tomes, and you can get 10% off some dice from Dice Legion on us. Feel free to take advantage of that. I don't think I've missed anything, so that means Miss Ohio Hex, Miss Narissa, I believe there's some opening words that you have for us.
Yeah, what happened last time?
The lack of connection between Spotify and everything else. Oh, nope. It's just us.
Okay. Well, last time we woke up in Weisgard with some hurt feelings on both sides. Ersid read a book all night and then took a nap, woke up, met with Vincent, who decided to use his time to search for information on Man-Eater Mabel, on vampires, and tools used to destroy them. We met up again in the castle and went to brunch, where we talked about our war efforts and apologized for fighting when really there's no need. We managed to come to an agreement on what we need to do in the days coming, mainly going on a diplomatic campaign of sorts to speak with people. Arid is marching quickly, and we might be behind in catching up. We spoke with King Eltar and Desiree. King Eltar promised to perhaps talk with Oblivion's March, if he can manage it. And Desiree might train me, maybe to my deficit. Suppose we'll see. We left Weisgard and went to meet with the speaker in the moor. We found ourselves in the middle of a dinner with one of the... I don't know what they're called. They're like... No.
Oh.
I don't know what it's called when they have the mask. I don't know if they're like
They haven't told you.
Slightly more important messengers.
That's good. Slightly more important messengers.
Yeah.
Slightly.
And spoke with Emil for a while. He doesn't seem too concerned about the war or the possible decimation of other societies. But we did meet with a Zephyr of the New Dawn, and he told us that we could travel back with him to Phoenix's Rest, where maybe we can speak with the rest of them. And that's where we left off.
Did you guys camp or have anything you wanted to do for the night?
I thought we were going to talk to the speaker next.
Yeah, we gotta go to bed for that.
But I think, yeah, we were going to talk to him in the morning.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Also, really quick head count, because we might need it during our dialogue quests today. Who has inspiration? I have inspiration.
I think I do too. Yeah.
Okay. So let's not forget that, because we may need to reroll some persuasion.
I have a bunch of my fighter moves are all talking.
Yeah,
so
I think. Do you have
superiority die, I can
what's it
stand on
called?
stuff.
Okay.
Do you have commanding presence or whatever?
I have commanding presence, and I have tactical assessment, and I have anything that can help me with talking.
Because I have
and
commanding
figuring stuff
presence, so I can also use that.
out. Nice.
Okay. So I take it we're just camping out. Where are you guys trying to camp? Are you camping with who? Are you camping with the rest of the messengers? Are you guys getting your own little campground set up? What are we doing?
Do they have like, I imagine like there are these like military style tents that are like, like big and like house shaped. Is
Yeah.
that accurate? And like maybe I was imagining they would have one for us to bunk in. If not, we've
they'd be
got our
more
own
like
shit.
carnival tents, and it'd be more like hostile rules.
Okay.
Is who offering to let us stay there by him?
Yeah, he's staying a little bit outside of the party. He has a personal tent, but he would not be against you guys staying there.
I would rather hang out with who than with these cult guys that kind of creeped me out.
They're really
Like,
harmless.
everything's cool, man.
They're straight up just chillers. To a point that it gets in our way, but
They anyway, where are you staying?
I think we should
With
just
who?
stay by his tent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like set up next to his tent or in his tent?
Next to his tent.
Next to his tent.
Okay, yeah. I would agree. I don't have anything against him, but like I think I'll sleep.
I just met
Yeah.
him.
Just met him.
Really quick point of order. About what time are we going to bed? I need to calculate how much of my book I can read.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Anywhere from 10 to 12.
10 to 12 o'clock, so
22 to 0 hours.
okay, well, can I say 10 o'clock then? And then I'll go to sleep at 4 in the morning and wake up at 8. And that's,
Do you have that elf?
yeah,
rest thing where you can
trance.
meditate?
Yeah, I can just meditate. So I only need 4 hours for a long rest. So then I can get in 6 hours on the book before I go to sleep.
Okay. So let's do watches. I think that would put you on first watch.
Yeah, I'll do first watch.
Okay. Who wants second?
Ooh.
What is that noise? Or who wants first with Airsid?
I could just do it with Uwasa.
Okay.
Unless somebody really wants to say something to me, but I'm gonna just try and read my book, to be honest.
Read away, my friend.
Well then, let's see. I'll have you roll a perception check at disadvantage then, and Uwasa a perception check at standard.
Okay. So Uwasa. Oh, I forget. This is why we split us up, is because.
I think Vincent has okay perception.
Oh yeah, Vincent's good perception. That's right. Okay, good. So now someone can babysit Narissa. Okay, so Uwasa got 18, and then I will roll at disadvantage. Whoa! My perception's plus 13 now.
Crazy.
Pretty cool.
I don't know. It's coming
Ow.
from Airsid's or Ibrahim's
Fif-
mic, whatever that is.
Oh no, what is it? Is
There's
there
just like a
something?
weird like squeaking sound, but it only happens when you talk. So I don't know if it's like the connection through Discord or something.
It might be. It sounds like something with a wire in the mic, if it'd be anything. Like one
Yeah.
of those weird electronic noises.
Mm-hmm.
You're hearing it too, Connor?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad we've zeroed in on the troubleshooting so fast.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it still
Yeah.
doing it?
Yeah.
I would have no. I just I set up the same way every time, so I don't know what I would do differently.
Well, we'll leave it alone unless it becomes extremely distracting.
Okay.
You can always turn the music
Sorry.
up just slightly higher. It might cover it.
Well, sorry about that. In the meantime, Owasa got an 18 and I got a 15.
Okay. And Wasa and Who talk a little bit about their backgrounds, and you overhear a couple of things like how Who grew up in a forest close to the Redolent Wood, more next to the Redolent Valley, closer to the Blackbark Tangle. And you learned a little bit about the Arakocra kingdoms nearby and how secluded they are, and how much they don't like to mess with any of the politicking that most of the humanoids involve themselves with. He seems like a very jovial and kind of whimsical individual when he loosens up a little bit. And him and Uwasa get along fine as you focus and get into your readings, full of different types of analogies and metaphors and what are those called?
Parables.
Yeah, parables from different cultures and different languages, and it takes you and it goes in kind of some dissertations about what they mean and where they came from. And as you fight your will to sleep, it is finally time for watches to split. And Vincent and Narissa, I need perception checks.
18.
10.
Okay, good to know. And being, 4 in the morning, it's extremely quiet. Aside from the constant hum of groans and moans from the decaying dead, undead bodies that surround the more of dead men, which were drowned out by the sounds of party and fervor from the messengers. Every once in a while, amongst the stars, you'll find a sort of twinkle, ground level, most likely will-o-wisps dashing away throughout the dead trees, the sounds of bubbles popping and frothing up from the bog below, the occasional croak of a frog, things like that, as you sit in your somewhat silence.
Vincent's pretty groggy still from waking up. His hair's like all messed up. He's pretty quiet, but after a while, he's like, "So, how did things go with Desiree?"
As well as they can go for now. I mean, things were going well before, everything happened and we got kicked out. But she didn't know that I was Yuan-Ti. I'm sure that changes her perspective of me.
How so?
I mean, I'm from a race of evil snake people. It's
But
really
still,
hard.
she agreed to mentor you still.
Because
Gotta see something in you.
Yes, I think that I am different enough and have proven myself enough, hopefully, that she respects me at least a little bit. But it's
I think
hard
she
to
will.
say.
I think she will. He's got his little pipe out and he's like smoking.
I think I have a lot of things I've been thinking about.
Like what?
Why is Arid doing this? Like, somewhat suddenly. We don't know why they're doing this or what they want or what they're doing. Maybe we're missing something. Maybe there's something that we don't know that they do.
It's possible. Have I ever even ran into Arid's finest? Have they like spread out north enough that I would have seen them or interacted with them?
Maybe here and there while you were in Burnwell. But they haven't really gone to Weisgard, no. So if you've never been to Burnwell, you may have never interacted with them at all.
I don't think I have, no.
So yeah, everything you know is word of mouth, hearsay.
Yeah. So Vincent's like, I don't know much about them. I'm trusting you guys that this is important.
And isn't that kind of weird? I mean, I've never met someone from Arid that isn't a soldier. It's not like that's so strange. The people never leave. No one goes in, no one comes out but soldiers.
If they're holed up in 3 giant walls that surround the whole city, maybe it is like that. Maybe the citizens are trapped inside.
That's still strange, right? Because most of these places need some sort of trade.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have to be trading something. They cannot be that self-sufficient, not without magic. All of these other places have access to magic where you can feed more people more reasonably. I have a spell myself that fertilizes the land and allows more crops to grow. That should be everywhere, but in Arid, it's impossible.
Maybe that's why they send out the soldiers. Maybe it's not so much trade as it is acquisition. I don't know.
Maybe. I just feel like there are so many unanswered questions. There has to be something they're giving up. Because they can't be this perfect place where they are the strongest and the best and everything is working. They want us to think that.
Mm-hmm.
But they're hiding. And no one really goes in or out, so they're hiding for a reason.
Maybe they have some secret at the center of it all.
Maybe they do. Some things to consider.
What makes Arid so personal for you?
It's not really personal, more so than... Well, I guess it's the king. It's King Eltar.
Mm-hmm.
I want him to stay the king of Burnwell. He is a friend.
I like it. Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, I look up to him. I think he is a very impressive man. And he is losing his position.
Yeah.
Besides, every Arid soldier I have ever met, besides like one, threatens us. So it's not like they're friendly or take kindly to anything. I don't know, some things to keep in mind while we go on this trek. Lots of unanswered questions.
Definitely.
And the only answers you find are the sounds of birds and what seems to be more jovial laughter and exclamations from the party resurging nearby as the sun, or the dreamer's flame itself, begins to light again, brimming the sky with sort of an orange glow as the day begins. You make your way, I assume, back to everyone there, or anything like that.
Yeah, do we know where we're gonna meet the speaker?
Outside of the moor, no.
Should we ask and see if anyone knows where the speaker is?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Vincent finds a messenger, one of the people hanging out here, and asks him or her or them.
Of them. You happen to find a dragonborn woman, no frills, no spikes, very smooth in composition with sort of a sandstone like color to them, bright blue eyes, and they kind of lean down as they tell you, he will be here. That's why we are all here. Give it time, little one.
Okay.
Thumbs up.
Vincent just walks back and he's like, I cannot handle these people.
They're just having a good time all the time. I'll
Where's the depression? Where's the cynicism?
I guess I'm gonna pull out my book, the Senkali messaging book,
Okay.
and I'm going to write in it and be like, are you at all interested in the goings on happening in Arid?
It's a while before you get a response, but you see as the book opens up, text begins to form on the page you had spoke or written on, and it simply says, only infinitesimally so. If it's useful, maybe I would be more interested. Otherwise, it bothers me not.
Was more useful. I guess I'll share that with the class. Like, it's not that I really trust Senkali or think he cares about this, but at this point, I'm willing to take any help we can get. Even if it's just information.
It's good to keep track of where everyone's positions lie. So, I'm not surprised by his answer.
Unkali is a god that you guys ran into at some point.
One of
A
the
self-proclaimed god.
one of the
Self-proclaimed.
couple that we've met. I'll answer back, what would make it more interesting for you?
We can speak in person. This is tedious.
I am at the moor.
I know.
Oh.
Don't text, just call.
I'll FaceTime you.
Yeah.
And time goes on, and you see who kind of interacting with the people, and he's doing all kinds of like tricks where he'll fly around and put on sort of like a air show, with like smoke trails and other cantrips evoking magic to help entertain the individuals around. As you all eat what seems to be just like eggs, meats, just basic things, getting ready for breakfast as everyone's kind of getting in the mood. It seems like they all know that the speaker is coming and everyone is excited to see him.
Would you say that this might be an hour or two in which I could read my book? Listen, I'm trying to bust this out as fast as possible so that I don't have to keep doing this.
I'm happy.
It's a nerd.
We both point, nerd.
Oh no.
Fucking reading.
I can give you, let's see, if you guys would wake up at 8, I don't think it'd be bad to give you guys 2 hours.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So you can read. Is there anything you guys want to do with this time while you wait for Ersid to read?
Polish my
No,
armor.
no,
I
no, no.
guess.
We're waiting for the speaker. We're not waiting to read.
Excuse me, sorry. I misspoke.
She polishes her
like-
armor, does her makeup, puts her hair up.
Can I just like look around their houses and stuff and see if there's anything I can intuit about what their whole deal is?
Okay, so you're dealing with a lot of empty tents and white robes. Go ahead and roll insight.
They are people of little means.
30.
Okay, do you have any specific questions that you'd like answered with that roll?
I want to know. I guess being strategic, like what their is to stay here, why they follow the speaker, why they've chosen this life. Because I want to know how we can appeal to the speaker when we talk to them.
Okay. One thing that's clear is there is a mix of every race here. You go to Vice Guard, you mostly see Genasi, humans, maybe a couple of dwarves here and there, and some elves that are kind of trading. The only elves that are there that are probably staying there are green elves of some sort. You go to Burnwell and you see a little bit of everyone. You start to see more tieflings. You start to see more dragonborn. Here, there's a lot of dragonborn, a lot of lizard folk, silver elves, gold elves, gnomes, halflings. Everyone's here. You get a feeling that as you see them all share their cups and split their food and sit down together, that this is a place of peace, of camaraderie, of community that they have all found, a place that they won't be judged for being what or who they are. And they find that maybe it is a good idea for the world to return to its natural state, which in the religion of Tuhanul means dragons abound.
Very enlightening, actually.
I was hoping, I was like, did that give you anything that you could work with? Because I think I answered your question, but did it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And after some time, you are all sitting down, and Ersid, you hear a voice who kind of speaks over your shoulder. So, you teach a man to fish and he can feed himself, but if you give a man a fish, is this really what you're reading, Ersid? As you turn and see a young human man with a blue mask on their face and a big smile.
I close the book and I put it in my pouch. Is this a speaker? Is that what the speaker looked like?
No, this is a meal.
No. Oh,
It's the
okay.
guy we talked to last night.
That's right. As a matter of fact, it is. If you are so interested, what books do you like to read?
I don't really. If I can find like a bard show, maybe, or a theater troupe, those are how I like to listen to my stories. Reading kind of puts me to sleep.
Passive entertainment. I see. Yeah, that tracks. But that's good, you know. I don't discriminate any kind of, you know,
I mean, the kind of entertainment we're making right now.
You can't just read a book. Come on.
Well, listen, Emil. When is your guy gonna be here? You know, we've got the world to save.
And he kind of, as he gets around you, he does like a handstand over you and flips over and starts walking and turns around, his hands on his hips. Follow me.
Oh. I like get everyone's attention and tell them to come.
Follow.
Okay.
And you walk past the big, sort of giant-sized dining table and the corpses of the giants that have been left about, that are now sort of decaying into sort of like a tree-like form. And all of the more, this is where you see the most life, foliage and flowers blooming from the corpses of these bygone wood giants. As you step inside where you originally witnessed the so-called spectacle, the resurrection of Uren, and there, in his white robes laced with red, and the bird-like ostentatious mask that he always wears, the speaker, and next to him, his advisor, atop the head of a giant cobra, sits Senkali, head on hand, as he looks out at you all, a smile hiding under his long, superfluous hair. The speaker does a low bow. So, we are here to speak.
As we tend to do.
And a new friend, it seems. As he looks at you, Vincent.
Introduce yourself.
Yeah.
But the speaker's talking to me, or
Yeah.
Senkali talking to me?
The speaker's talking to you.
Okay. Yeah, he looks at him, and he looks at the speaker and says, "My name's Vincent. I'm traveling with this group now."
Kairos. What Kairos?
Kairos.
Elbow him.
And you see the speaker, if you're not aware, I'll re-describe him. He holds like his helm looks like that of a beak as it courses down in front of his nose, and where the beak would open is instead replaced with a red veil that makes it very hard to see their face. The rest of the helm fans out into what looks to be 5 separate draconic, maybe lizard-like heads with frills in between. The whole thing is sort of like a platinum silver color, and it's very simple in design for how gaudy it might be. The rest, he just wears the white robes that the messengers wear, maybe an extra layer, all with lacings and accents of red. And you can kind of see him smile behind this veil. And Vincent, what is it you wish to see in the world?
I wish to see the truth, justice. I want to help out where I can.
Then we are of like minds. So, Narissa, remind me, what am I speaking with you for today?
Right, I did call this. I know how you feel about intervening in the business and affairs of these kingdoms. But I called you here to ask if there was any way we could garner any aid from you in regard to Arid. Arid is marching so many soldiers, they call them the Black Tide. I don't think it does anyone well to have such a strong group of soldiers who wish to crush magic of all sorts and subjugate people. We wish to stop them in the most bloodless way possible, but it is yet to be seen how.
Yeah, and seeing as you don't like, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, but don't like getting your nails dirty by doing anything physically, perhaps you would have some kind of alternative to support.
And they put their hands together as they begin to pace inside this castle. There's a giant tree stump that they begin to pace around. And as they do, they speak, their voice coming from every angle, every which way, clear. The Black Tide, cursed, prophesies to engulf all in its grasp. Only the brightest of lights can shine through such darkness. Only the love of a mother can awake a child to their wrongs. And he stops again in front of you all. I cannot help, but I know one who can.
Okay, that's progress.
The mother Tuhanu.
What? On what?
The mother Tuhanu herself.
Okay.
But really now,
She would help us.
She is going to, or at least that is how it is written. That is how it is spoken. That is what she says to me. And without her, this black tide may succeed.
Without her. And what does she say she's going to do?
Just as the dreamer's flame takes place of the moon and gives us the light of day, she is to show us the light of peace.
That's just what she says.
That is what I am told.
But how is this peace achieved?
When you step outside of this castle, what darkness do you see?
do you mean do you mean literally
Yeah.
or figuratively?
Quite literally, as the dreamer's flame burns, what darkness do you find in your travels? The shadow that is the black tide should be wiped away.
By Tuhano.
Indeed.
Okay.
Your
Is that
your
safe?
people believe that Tuhanu will not intervene. Is this something you haven't told them yet?
I will not intervene. As they call me the speaker, I speak. And I speak to Hanu's will, while she is not able to will herself. If we can reintroduce her to Elbrin, her love will be enough to stop this war.
And you trust what it is that speaks to you fully.
How can one not? You look outside and you see her children, smiles upon their faces. Wherever we go, we bring love and kindness with us. And next to me, and he turns his head just a stitch towards Senkali, sits a god. One who is willing to answer to another. If that does not speak of her power, I know not what does.
How do you speak to her? And how do we help?
She speaks to me. I was born to listen, and so I follow my calling. How you help is by granting myself an audience with Mother Seraphine.
But are you gonna appear at the what do you call it? This
The
diplomatic
yeah.
summit.
Yeah.
Again, yeah, we're having like some kind of Congress meeting.
Are you going to attend?
Will you all bring me as a guest of Kairos?
Sure. I look around at Narissa and Vincent and Wasa.
I think we can get you an audience, but we cannot promise anything. You will have to defend yourself. We can vouch for you.
Simply being an honored guest of yours, I am told will be enough. The
What
words,
do you plan on saying at this summit?
I
And-
whisper to Vincent and I say, I was probably just gonna be spoon fed what to say by the mother of Tunul.
and you can kind of make out a smile behind the veil that covers the speaker's face. I will say what I always say, and that is the truth. If it resonates with Mother Seraphine, then it seems Erid, the black tide, I'm sure will be no more.
So you don't know what you'll say yet? Or will you say something to convince them to do something?
Will it help you to
Obviously.
know, Vincent?
It would help me to know, yes. Obviously, you're very smart. You're very kind. You're a leader who's put together this whole community. Even if You say you're just listening to the Mother Tuinul. You yourself are also instrumental in this whole thing, so I don't believe that you have no idea what Tuinul will say to you. If she's a god of truth, then she should be consistent, and so I think you have some idea of what will happen.
Roll persuasion.
Nurse is just kind of giggling because Vincent's kind of just realizing what me and Nerissa already know.
Me and Erison are definitely just keep giving each other looks like,
You're not gonna get through to him, dude.
hey, we've all tried.
You guys wanted to talk to the speaker?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't know why. It's like we just keep doing the same thing over and over, but we keep getting the same result, but it's like he's one of like the top guys, so it's really hard not to talk to him.
I got a 15, and I spent a superiority dice to get there.
Ooh, a 15. The speaker puts his hands together, a sort of opening in them through his heart. You will know what is true. Words have a power to them, and once spoken, at times they cannot be spoken again. I will refrain from divulging too much, lest the power of Tuinul succumb to the power of this mortal plane.
All right, that was all the patience. And
Erson sees the defeat that was inevitable.
Yep.
And
Not inevitable. He just rolled a 15.
I guess that's true. He chimes in and he says, "Well, you know, I feel like this is progress. You know, that you're willing to come in and speak. So,
did we want to talk to the speaker about Konoha and getting Konoha as an ally, or do we have to go through some other venue to do that?
Oh no, I think we do.
I would just, but it's kind of like the speaker doesn't exactly tell the messengers what to do. So it would be like, can we talk to Konoha about this? Because it would be Konoha's decision, not the speaker's decision or whatever. Yeah.
Okay. Should we ask him that?
Yeah, just say, can we talk to him? I don't know where he's at. I haven't been able to get in contact with him.
Have you seen Konoha lately?
You would like to speak with him as well?
Yeah, well, you know, since we're in the chit-chatting mood, we may as well chit-chat with everybody.
I will bring him to Weisgard.
Really good idea.
Oh,
That's
okay.
exactly where Konoha should be.
Yeah.
Straight in the
Just
palace.
to remind him to stay in his human form. But you're a smart guy. I'm sure you knew that.
Konoha, unbeknownst to many, is smart enough himself to know that.
Unbeknownst. Yeah, well.
So,
All right.
is this all?
So, are you going to procure your own mode of transportation there, or
I mean, he
when you
teleported.
asked us to take? Yeah, I mean, you can teleport, right? Like, you don't need us to take you there.
I do not. When is
Okay.
the date?
It's the end of this week.
Yeah.
It's the 5th of the
Yes.
plentiful moon.
I tell him that.
Okay. I will be there. Myself. Then he looks over at Senkali. Alone.
Probably the move.
Konoha will fend for himself. But I do not imagine he will take any part of the goings on at the palace.
Well, that's all right. That's just a place for us to catch up with him.
Good.
All right. Well, you've been surprisingly helpful today. And I just kind of like look at Sankali and I just give a nod.
And Senkali smiles, and the speaker bows pretty deeply. And he looks at all of you. Now, I must tend to the messengers. Senkali here, I believe you also wanted to speak with him. I will allow you all privacy. As he
This
steps out.
Orochimaru motherfucker.
As Senkali just kind of turns his head and blows his hair out of his face. So, Nerissa, you ask me if I care about Arid.
I am curious. I know that you and the speaker don't necessarily agree on everything. You don't have the same brain, same thoughts.
No, yours and mine are much closer.
So do you care?
Tell me, Nerissa, you would like to speak to a god. Unfortunately, that god is not myself.
I wouldn't take it personally. There's a lot of gods I apparently need to speak to.
His eyes sort of widen as he leans in. The snake beneath him slithers closer. No, that is not true.
It's not.
Only one. Would you care to meet them?
Of course.
Unlike the speaker, I have a habit of acting. I also have a habit of taking care of those who take care of me. There is much you can find in Jolt, including your god. Go there for me, and I will assure you meet them. And then maybe, I will consider Arid more than an anthill.
There may not be time for me to go to Cholt. It will take...
That is a bit of a trek.
At least not before we do something about Arid.
Hmm.
I would like to go, but...
How long would it take? Let me pull up the map really quick.
How long would it take?
Let's go ahead.
If we do go to Jolt, we could also check the Sea of Scales for the Bring Back Cane thing.
That's gonna be a whole fucking thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, oh man, that is not a pit stop.
I mean,
So-
finding a god in Jolt also does not sound like a pit stop.
Right, is
Yeah.
the problem as well.
That's the problem, yes.
It's
It's not like we can
How-
teleport there. I
know.
would. I guess if
I would
you
love to do it.
if you honestly, this is the hack. If you switch
Okay.
your magical item with me, I can teleport us to Cholt.
Because you have
I
a trinket.
I
for
lived
Cholt.
there.
Oh, 'cause it's a really familiar place.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's the hack. Wait, that totally works within all the rules. Why not?
Yeah, oh
Yeah.
my god. I
Yeah.
just thought about that. My brain. So stupid.
Excellent.
I was like, how the fuck are we gonna get there? It's gonna take us so long. No, it's not. I literally lived there.
Speaking of hacks, can I do know your enemy on Senkali?
What would you like to know?
What a silly thing.
I want to know if his total levels are higher than 13 and if his fighter levels are higher than 8.
He is superior to you when it comes to total level. He is inferior to you when it comes to fighter level.
So that mechanic, it doesn't just say, "Oh, they're not a fighter." If they're not a fighter,
I think
Yeah,
it
zero's
says.
less than.
Yeah, I think it says inferior, equal, or superior.
huh?
I can also check strength, dex, or constitution. I think out of those, like constitution might be useful to know if you guys have anything. Not that we need to fight everybody, just seeing if this guy really is a god. But he seems pretty strong.
You already used your 2 on this creature.
Right. Yeah.
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 He's godlike for sure. Do we have that conversation? The wait, just give me your magical item. I'm still trying to approximate how long everything would take. What? Let's do this. I will go to Cholt. For you, for me, for whatever. I can take my friends there. What are you offering in return? What kind of help?
Is an introduction to your god not enough?
It might be. I don't know. You know where to find him.
I know how to get a hold of them. Only you will know where to find them.
How many days do we have until the diplomatic summit?
I think 7.
Yeah, we got quite a few days.
My fantasy life is now more organized than real life.
That's so funny. And you don't need to come with us.
No. There is someone you are quite close to, who I'm sure will be a much better guide than I.
Oh God.
Is he around or is he in Cholt?
He is home.
He's home, right. Well, so that calls into question a lot of things. How long does it take us to get from where we are now to Phoenix's Rest? It's less than a day of walking?
Probably about 2-3 days.
It's so far.
It is so far. Is it the blue circle?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I think we need to speak
we
about
can't
this.
we can't even teleport to Phoenix's Rest.
Yeah, I know. That's what's annoying
Oh.
about it. Is that we can't, because none of us have ever been there.
How exactly does the teleport work? What do you need?
I collect a small item of anywhere that we go, and then you channel the familiarness of that place through the item that I took, or I can just, like, if it's somewhere that I I know very well from my own mind and memories, then that that I can use that as well. And there's a chart on like you can read in the in the rules, and depending on the familiarity, the less chance of the less or more chance of fucking up the teleportation
Oh,
is.
great.
So if you have an item, it's 100%. So that's how we usually do it.
Okay.
But if it's just from my memory, then there is a small chance that we could teleport somewhere wildly different and wrong, or even in a different plane of existence.
Does it need to be familiar to you?
Yeah.
Like, if like who gave us an item, would that work, or does it need to be familiar to you?
Hmm.
I think
We'd have to read that.
I don't have it up, but I'm pretty sure that I have to collect the item.
Even if you don't, the item would have to be like from Phoenix Rest. So if there's anything that he has that's like, oh, I'm gonna put this back, then maybe. But if it's just like, hey, I took this here, but it's been with me, it wouldn't count.
Okay.
Okay, well, do you have anything else to ask Orochimaru or what?
I don't think so. I think we have to talk about all this. So.
Yeah.
Well, if that is all, it was good seeing you, old friend.
Likewise.
As the snake sort of raises its hooded head up, he sits a good 10, 15 feet higher than all of you as the snake, giant, gargantuan in form, slithers its way into the sort of crevices and catacombs underneath this castle. And you are left alone in the dirt, in the mud, behind the brick.
So what do we think about all of this?
Well, ironically, it's easier to get to Cholt than it is to get to Phoenix's Rest.
Indeed.
Now,
Now that we figured out we can just kind of most likely just get to Jolt, that makes it so much more doable than it was before.
Who is your god, Nerissa? I've always thought of you as faithful, but I've never thought about who or what you worship.
I'm not sure. I speak to them sometimes. They saved my life? Gave me a new one? I'm not sure.
And that guide you mentioned, didn't you have a sibling, partner, someone you grew up with that turned on you? Yeah.
He's an ahas, which is roughly translated to blood kin, but we're not related by blood necessarily. We are just partners in everything. Yeah.
well, here, okay, I mean, let's just do the math then, yeah? So, if it takes at maximum 2 days to get to Phoenix Rest, we have 7 days. 2 days to get to Phoenix Rest.
Maximum 3.
Oh, okay.
If we
well then, let's plan 2.
Yeah,
If
we're
we
good at
do it
pushing ourselves.
really quickly. 2 days. So that means that by the time we arrive there, we have 5 days left. We don't even have to sleep there. We can just arrive there, do our talking business, and then that evening teleport to Cholt, which then leaves us. So I guess what I'm realizing is it takes 2 days to get to Phoenix Rest, and in that same second day, we can then also directly go straight to Cholt. So in 2 days, we can get to Phoenix Rest, talk, get to Chult, and then by the time we are in Chult, we still have 5 days left.
You're right. And
We may need to be judicious about our time and value how many war assets each place gives us and whether that's worth us spending the time on it.
I think you're right.
For example, Phoenix Rest, what do we gain from that? Maybe builders.
The Zephyrs. I'm not too worried about the other people, but the Zephyrs, because they're all leveled characters, like if we're just talking this like from a meta context, I think like having the leveled characters is a little bit more useful in this scenario. So I think getting them on our side is helpful. My only other idea is, and we have those paper cranes, we can send out the paper cranes to everybody else. They have ways of contacting us. Like if we want to try and reconnect Airsid with Lachlan, we can send Lachlan a little paper crane that will be like, hey, I really want to meet and talk.
We can also send that to my father in the Redolent Wood.
I think that's like a better use of our time. Instead of walking around, we're saying, hey, we want to meet you, because like if we got to go do some other stuff first, and then we'll have that summit meeting, which could change a lot of things, because if the speaker wants to convince the queen to probably give him the orb, I'm assuming, so that they can summon Tuhanul for better or worse, you know, if she decides to do that, then that changes a lot of the plan anyway.
Or why?
Yeah.
Because if Tuhanul's gonna take out the the army, then
that we don't need to do anything.
Yeah, we don't need to do a whole lot.
Or less. We do less.
We do less, yeah. But I think you're right.
Well,
we should go to Phoenix's Rest, talk to the Zephyrs. We can send out the notes, and then we just teleport to Chult.
Who do we have to talk to that's left? There's the Zephyrs. There's Tomomori.
And there's your brother.
Added on the list is Chult and Lachlan. Okay.
Yeah. Because I think
we
if we do have to go to full war, I think the Roscovan would be a really good asset to have. There's a lot of them.
I think that's smart, and they like the Wild Wild West aspect of it, and it would be easy to convince them for their own self-interest that Arid wants to, Nazify the continent. So,
Raskovit is bandits in the Burnwell area. Your contact is Lachlan.
My brother, my actual sibling brother.
Okay, what's your relationship like with him right now?
Strained
not good.
Yeah, strained at the moment. There's some apologizing, that has to go on for sure.
Would it be easy to convince them, or would it be?
I think out of all of the people we're trying to convince, they might actually be easier to convince because they fucking love fighting. They love fighting and killing people and stuff. So it's like, hey, do you want to still be able to fight and kill people?
Yeah, and also just trying to really iterate the point that listen, if Arid wins, that includes you as well. And then there's no more banditing that's gonna be able to be going on. So
or at least not nearly as easily,
Yeah, if you value your way of life of banditing and pillaging.
Yeah, I think the people whose lives are affected the most are scaly people and people who do magic, and then the Roscovan are second of most affected by an Arid takeover.
Yeah.
All right, well, should we go?
Yep. Let's head.
So you kind of get out and you find and he has a bunch of the messengers with him. like a whole just gathering of them. You can see a lot of them are kind of in the back, and the speakers giving what seems to be blessings and talking to people. And when Who finds you guys, he says, we have found that we are ready. The speaker has given us his blessing.
Oh, good.
Good.
So you are all coming, yes, to Phoenix Rest.
Yes.
Come with you, yeah.
Yeah.
Then
You,
let
you
us
don't
go.
happen to have a method of flying there quickly, do you?
I do. I am not sure about, as he turns and looks at his entourage.
Ah.
There's roughly, let's see. Oh yeah, there's like 30 of them ready to go.
I hope you guys love a good hard trek.
Yeah, Mr. Hoot, what's the pace gonna be like here?
I see no rush.
Oh, we do.
As well, it is hard to speed along with this many individuals behind.
That's true.
Do
Do we march ahead
do we
then?
need to follow you? Yeah, can we go by ourselves ahead?
Yeah, if it's marked on the map, can I use my survival skills to navigate us there?
And he looks a little sad.
No offense.
No.
I'm really sorry. No, listen, it's just,
If you
it's
are
just where.
pressed for time, I understand. But it may be a little lonely without some kinfolk around.
I'm sure we'll see you again soon.
Yeah, who?
I would love to, when we're on the other side of this, to sit down and have a cup of tea, you know? We'll get there.
And he weakly smiles, and he looks back at the messengers that are with him. They're all smiling and gearing up and ready to go. Men, women, and children just doing their thing. Families that seem excited about this new endeavor. And he looks at you all. Tomorrow is never promised a day. But I see hope in you. So I will take that tea if it comes.
I
Yeah.
stick out my hand for a handshake.
He sticks out a wing and gives you a handshake as you all part ways.
So that we can go quickly.
We just start running.
It's like in Hunter x Hunter when they jump off the horses and start sprinting, like faster than the horses.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you guys don't have horses or anything like that, huh? Not here.
I could make one.
Do such creatures exist
Horses?
in this world?
Yeah.
Have you seen
We've,
one?
we
Yeah, you guys have had
We've had
horses in this
horses.
world.
Oh, we did. You're right.
we took them to
Yeah.
I can make one, but the rest of you would still just be walking. So
Yeah, I know I have, a thing about horses and not using them, but they're here. They're in this campaign.
we just teleport everywhere.
Yeah.
So unless you can just
Yeah,
like
we just teleport everywhere.
whistle summon your steed, then
Yeah, you guys don't have horses like that.
yeah.
Only Narissa has a horse like that.
How much can a horse carry?
Depends on the horse, but generally like 400 pounds, 600 pounds.
Yeah, in a game, a real horse can only do like 250.
Well,
Well, on their back. Dragging a
Yeah.
horse can do like 1,000.
I guess Vincent's little, so if we could find a different way, he could ride it back.
I bet you could fit. This is the problem, though. Is you could fit Narissa, Vincent, and Owasso on the horse, but I'm a
I'd be only willing for 2. Vincent and Uwasa are still medium creatures.
Yeah, it'd
Yeah.
be kind of hard to get on the horse.
Well, in
So-
any case,
Yeah, we just kind of have to.
Alright.
We just have
Walk.
to trek as quickly as we can.
Okay, go ahead and get me a survival check to navigate to the point on the map known as Phoenix Rest.
With advantage.
Why advantage?
I help him.
Okay.
she's my first mate. I don't know what the thing is called.
Mm-hmm.
31.
Nice.
Said 31.
Expertly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Jeez. Okay. Between the brains of 2 survivalists and the staunch lack of foliage and difficult terrain, it is not hard to make your way to Phoenix Rest. I would say you'd be able to. Are you guys pushing through nights? Or are you guys resting?
Push through one night, sleep the second.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Okay. I need con checks.
Even though I rolled a 2, that's a 12.
You have a plus 10 to con.
I do.
Is this a check or a saving throw?
That's technically a save.
Okay, so 12.
Okay.
Me and Uwasa both got 10.
Oof.
It's a hard trek as you push through the rest of the Badlands. You can, you're kind of coughing up the dirt. The sweltering heat under the Dreamer's flame is enough to get you guys just to the edge of exhaustion. Actually, I'm gonna need another con check because it is so hot out here in the Badlands.
Oh yeah, and my boots are for cold. That's insane. That's a 13.
Okay.
That means I rolled a 3. 2 and a 3. That dice is
That's
in jail.
another con save.
Yes,
would be
another con
25.
save. Okay, good.
I was born in the heat.
I got,
Hold it.
I got 13, and Uwasa got 9.
Don't forget, you get a plus
I
2 now. It's 2,
Oh, it's
not
plus
1.
2?
It's 2.
Okay, so then I have a 14, and Uwasa got a 10.
Okay.
What? Why?
I have an
Oh, wait.
aura.
That's what paladins do.
Oh, okay. Okay. I wasn't adding that, so mine's even higher.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. I'm happy to hear that. You push through the heat, but after going through the extensive cold, there's a part of this that is somewhat welcome as you make your way, pushing through the nights, testing your limits as you go day by day. The Dreamer's Flame ignites once again. As you find yourself closer to Phoenix Rest, you start to see the makings of what seem to be like the foundation of a large wall, maybe 50 to 75 feet tall. Nothing quite as impressive as what you've seen in Burnwell or Viceguard, something probably a little closer to what you've seen in Tomamori. And you see all kinds of tents, and Ersid, you notice flying in the middle of this makeshift village, a flag, the familiar flag of Tribe Iscandia.
Oh no. I have more baggage to work through now.
That's why we have to give Ersid a break, because he's got to talk to his sister, and then we've got to go do something that I've got to do, and then we'll come back and we'll talk to his brother. So mentally prepare. Giving you a break.
So I imagine we're like kind of like bundled up as we're like trudging up because it's a little colder now, right? as we're getting more
Yeah,
north?
yeah, it's a little colder now.
Goes from hot to
Hot to cold?
Yep,
chilly.
hot and
Okay.
chilly. Yeah,
How many days did it take for us to get here?
2.
So we left
So
on
this-
the 28th. So now it's the 30th.
Okay,
All right.
Oh,
that would be correct. Yes.
can I...
Well,
Can
if you
I
left on the
have-
28th, you left the morning of the 28th. You went through the 9th, so this is the 29th.
Like the evening of the 29th.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
So when we say we pushed through the night, that means we didn't sleep and there was no time for stopping and doing anything?
Did you guys want to stop and do anything?
Shit,
we had
I'm
to
just...
run.
I'm just thinking... I'm thinking about my book.
You can stop. I mean, you can read if we stop for a little bit.
You guys can
Like, how much would be a
stop.
reasonable...
It's up to you guys. Can tell me how long you guys want to stop. If it's under 4 hours, the best I can give you is a short rest. Otherwise, you got to take a long rest, and it's going to take a little bit longer to get there.
4 hours. And then when you
4
get there, you can
hours.
read more.
Yeah, so if we left on the morning of the 28th... Oh, wait. So that... I'm sorry. So, after we spoke with... I'm sorry this is so
You-
math-oriented.
yeah, you
after
read
we
for-
spoke...
2 hours,
2
and then we
hours.
went to the speaker. And then we could walk, push through most of the night. We stop for 4 hours, you read. That's 6.
Okay, great. And then the next day, we're pushing through again. Do we stop again for 4 hours in that second day of
I think we're getting...
pushing?
That second day, you would get.
We're arriving.
Yeah.
So you
We're
can read
arriving.
tonight. Yeah.
When tonight? Okay, so I will just add 4 hours, and now this is the 4th day I've had the book.
Can someone read to you?
Is it the 4th day?
What if we audiobook this?
Yeah, so I've been keeping track. When I woke up and asked to read those extra 2 hours, that was the beginning of the 3rd day.
So this is the 4th day, and how many hours do you have?
So if we include the 4 hours that I was allowed to read on our journey, this is the beginning of the 4th day, I have 24 hours. So I'm halfway done with the book, and I have 2 days left. So I'm behind. I'm behind a day.
You can...
Let me make sure. There's nothing saying about how much you can read in a day, but you got to read 12 hours for the next 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which you can do, but it's gonna be crazy.
Well, and I can always get 4 hours in the early morning because I just need 4 hours of rest.
Yeah, I guess if you want to split it up throughout, but yeah. Anyway, I would be like, give me your teleport thing and I'll attune to it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, I think,
Yeah.
isn't it an hour to unattune?
I think you can unattune instantly. It's just an hour to attune or something, or 10 minutes. I don't know.
It's an hour to attune.
I think you can just unattune to something though.
Let's see.
So did we at least get a short rest in?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And no one was exhausted?
No.
Yeah, it takes at least an hour.
To unattune?
At least a
Really?
short rest.
Can you have unattuned, or do you need to focus on it?
You would need to focus on it.
That's an hour out of my book reading. Fuck. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, well, I can unattune when we've settled down.
Okay.
How
Yeah,
about
you
that?
might want to use that unattunement hour after you're done reading.
Yeah. Okay, so sorry for that. Okay, we're all there now.
Like Persona, where you have to keep track of every day, and there's a big date.
Yeah.
looming over you.
You gotta be careful, or else that Palace is gonna get out of hand.
Okay. So we get there, it's evening.
There's a flag. What flag is hanging over here?
Airsid tribes.
That's the one I put in the fan art.
Nice.
Yeah, can you describe that flag again for me, please? Because I don't have the fan art pulled up.
Yeah, it's so it's a big green flag. Irrespective of what I posted in the fan art, in my mind's eye, this is truly what it looks like. It's a big green flag, but it's kind of like a darker woody green. Like think like the kind of greens that you see in like the Pacific Northwest, like Oregon, Washington. So like a darker green. And then in the middle there's a kind of a geometric looking shape. I mean, it is literally a Nordic rune from IRL, and the Nordic rune means eternal love. And then there's some what in my mind's eye or imagination is part of the very specific Iskandian script. But in real life, I just wrote it in Arabic because that's cool, and it says "Together we live," and then that is sitting inside of a crescent moon, which is a goldenish color, and then in the top right corner, there is a sun, and then in the middle of the sun are 3 letters in Iskandian. It's an Allah, and a meme, and they are the holiest letters in the Iskandian lore that I'm just painting this Islamic brush over with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is the Ascanian tribe, is that a country somewhere? Is that a group of families? How big are we talking?
How big did we ever go over that, Aaron? I
How big
in my
do you?
mind,
Yeah.
I think
Like if they have a
realistically
flag and they have
they're a they're a nomadic tribe, but they stick together, and they move depending on the seasons and where the trade patterns are, and where the growth of plants and the land is fertile, blah blah blah. I guess what would be reasonable would be like, I think 300 people, 300 to 500 people, maybe. Like maybe during the like the plentiful seasons it goes up to 500, and then in the winter seasons it goes down to like 300.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess I can just like kind of explain all of this to Vincent as in character. So
Yeah,
that's
he's
what I'm
asking you.
Yeah, you're asking me about it, and so I'm telling you. But yeah, they're a very like free collective of people, but they find community together, and they like what. But they've been around for a long time, and they have kind of developed their own microculture in the world, and so that's why like they have their own script and stuff.
So what does it mean that they're here at Phoenix Rest?
Well, that's I don't actually know. I mean, I think Kane did Kane ever tell me that they were gonna? Because I think
he did. I think.
I want to say
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah, he did. He said your family is here, your sister is here. Because remember, you were like, "Is my sister happy to hear about me?" And he was like, "No." Like that was all a conversation. So.
But I thought that he came upon. Did he come upon Phoenix Rest, or did he come upon like actually the full tribe? And then I what I remember is that the tribe of Iskandia was helping out the Phoenix's Rest.
Yeah.
In this location, yes.
In this location. So like this is not the tribe Iskandia, but now that I see the flag here, I can only surmise that like there are important people, or there is an aid organization that is somehow helping Phoenix's Rest on behalf of Iskandia.
you would notice the what looks to be a full encampment of Iskandian tents.
Okay.
So your sister
I
is
mean-
here.
It would seem so.
Are you going to speak with her?
Are you on bad terms with your sister too?
It's kind of on bad
It's a-
terms. A lot of people.
It's a long story.
Alright.
Wassa
mean-
shakes her head.
I think you should. Even if it's not ideal, we're here. And if she sees you and you haven't come and said anything, oh, she will definitely hate you.
Yeah.
We're here
You
to
know-
build bridges. We're here to fix bridges.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll see how it goes.
Maybe
I kind of have an idea of how it's gonna go in my head.
humble
and it's not-
yourself before her. That is how you give the best apology.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And Wassa
Okay.
kind of smacks you and looks at you very forcefully at that. Uh-huh. She is
No.
being serious.
No, I know. Listen. I know. I have no other intention other than to apologize and build bridges, and I want desperately to reconnect with, at the very least, my own sister. I know what I did to the tribe. Look, if I can't convince the tribe and the tribe elders, that's one thing, but it's just I didn't know how I can live if my own sister doesn't care if I'm alive or dead. So it's a sincere thing that it's on my mind.
And Wassa kind of softens up and gets close to you. I am sure if there is anything to be mended, you two can make that happen. And if you two can fix this, then maybe there's hope for Lachlan yet.
Punch him in the shoulder. Go get him, Tiger.
As all of this, the whole time, Phoenix Rest has been encroaching, getting closer and closer. You have been getting closer and closer to Phoenix Rest, however you want to imagine this in your mind's eye. As you can kind of see the fields around are sort of getting frosty with the cold nearby, and there are a few individuals all shoveling and kind of raking, trying to pat down the ground to set up a sturdy foundation. You see people climbing up poles with makeshift ladders, bringing up wood and other things to kind of reinforce the different units. You can see houses being built. You can see one large location being built that you can only assume would be more like a hospital or a nursery, something like that. And finally, you get to what looks to be the opening of the gates, two white tassels floating in between two large poles with nothing on either side of them, and two guards that kind of wave you down. No masks, faceless. One's a lizard folk with like blue scales and sort of like a tan underbelly. The other is a genasi that happens to be kind of dusty. Bald with what looks to be cracks throughout all of their body. Their armor all stitched together, both with what looks to be the symbol of the Zephyrs emblazoned in the center. And they wave you down. Hail. Welcome to Phoenix Rest. Are you here for the development efforts?
We're here to speak to trust, among other things.
Ah, well, if anyone would like to speak to our great leader, then allow me to escort you. And he kind of looks over at the Genasi, who just kind of nods, and the lizard folk starts walking you in. So, what brings you this far?
You know what's happening.
The war
Yeah, with Aaron.
that is brewing. I'm sure you've heard tell of this.
I've heard lots of things. Not exactly a war per se, but that kind of confirms some suspicions.
Well, I don't mean to be the bringer of bad news, but every day it inches closer and closer to that. So that's why we're here, to help.
You think trust can help how?
We're not sure yet. We haven't spoken with him.
We're trying to count our allies, trying to see who's there that will assist in any way.
And you see, specifically Airsid and Vincent, this lizard folk man is a little more quiet for the rest of the walk. Really just asking yes or no questions every once in a while, answering questions as shortly as possible. As you can see, nerves are really getting to them. Airsid, you notice plenty of Iskandians, some that you could have sworn you were just running the fields with yesterday, whether it be fighting demons, tackling horses, playing hide and seek, whatever you were doing with the tribe. You see individuals that you did it with, and your eyes lock with a man, one of the eyes a little lazier than the other, ruffled hair, a little portly. And when he locks eyes with you, he points. I didn't do it.
Airsid's face just turns like a gauntly white. And his stomach just drops. And it kind of just freezes because I don't think Airsid knows what to do. I don't think he knows if he should approach him or not. But so some of the other people that I recognize, do they look at me? Does anyone else recognize me?
Yeah, a couple of people are starting to stop, and you look, and it's as if any joy that was in this place has frozen and melted into a deep concern of your presence.
I'm like, dang, what's going on? The vibes.
Yeah, I mean, I can't describe like the like just utter sadness that is just filling Airsid. And guilt. Again, reliving this horrific experience that he did
Are you all right?
all those years ago.
You look very pale.
I don't know. Do we just keep walking?
Yeah, I mean, you said you got stuck.
Yeah, no, I think I need to find my sister.
Go.
Just let them know that I'm here. And I kind of like look around and I whisper, there are people. I think they recognize me, and I don't think that my presence here is too welcome.
Go speak with whoever you have to. You can trust Vincent and I to take care of trust. Hey.
Okay.
Look, I don't know what happened there, said, but time has passed. You could be a new person. They might not accept that, but all you can do is try. You just hold out the olive branch. That's all you can do.
Thank you, Vincent. That's all. That's all I've been trying to do my whole life, really.
Now it's time to prove that you are different.
All right. Well, I'm sure I can find you guys. I'll meet up with you.
Side note, just give me the thing. I can attune to it. If I attune over your attunement, it will unattune you. You don't have to spend an hour. You can read.
Nice.
Oh, you did that? You read that?
Yep. I will have to unattune to something and then attune to it, so it'll take me like 2 hours, but that's what it says. The
Okay.
prerequisite is 100 feet away for at least 24 hours if you die or if another creature attunes to the item. So
Okay.
don't worry about having to like cut out an hour to do that.
What are you gonna give me? You gonna give me your wings?
Do you need them?
I might need to fly the fuck out of here.
You get an hour to read your book, buddy.
Yeah, I was
No,
gonna
no.
say, you gotta go talk to him right now.
No, that's okay. I guess you take it.
All right, I'll take it. I can give you the dragon flask back. You want that now?
No, I'm just not gonna have time to like attune
That's
to
fair.
something.
Yeah,
so
just leave the slot back so that we can give it back to you. All right,
Yeah.
sounds good.
Okay.
Good luck,
Well,
Ersid.
I don't know. Thank you. I don't know who you want to go with, but what I would do, what Ersid would do, is he would go approach an Iskandian who maybe looked like they were whispering about him or talking about him or made eye contact. Someone who looked like they recognized me, and I would approach them and say, "Is Maisie around?" I would ask people to find Maisie.
Roll persuasion with disadvantage.
Oof.
Oof.
30-20.
Dirty 20.
I have plus 10.
Well, since you're asking, Ersid, you can usually find her with trust. She's been quite integral to the growing of Phoenix Rest.
And I like give a very somber, like respectful, like bow with my head and thank you. And I walk away. I guess I'll go catch up with the guys. How convenient.
Roll persuasion.
For my thank you.
Yeah.
A disadvantage?
No.
Okay. 25.
Okay. Good to know. We'll wait
Just
for
have to persuade every single person. That's all I have to do.
every
All
single
500 of them.
one. All right, get to rolling. And
I think it would average to be about 20, right? If the average roll of a d20 is 1 to 20, the average of that is 10 and a half, and then I have a plus 10, so it would average to be a 20 and a half. That's pretty good.
that is actually really good. Okay, maybe you'll have a chance.
That's a DC. We have a sample size of 500.
And as you continue to walk by, Ersid, you notice that Bernard, the man who was pointing at you, is kind of following you all. Just keeping to the crowds, not very stealthy, but he's keeping an eye on you. And every time you look back, he shudders.
I don't. JC, were you here where I found out that Maisie is actually just with trust?
Oh no.
So, So I just caught up with you guys.
Oh, okay.
But I lean over to Narissa and Uwasa because I've told them the story. Vincent doesn't know, but I say, that's the guy. That's the gentleman that I assaulted. He's been following us for some time now. I didn't know what to do, but I suppose we'll just let him follow. I'm afraid that if I turn around and talk to him, he'll have a breakdown of some sort.
I mean, but he
So-
is following you, so maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what that means.
It is sensitive. We'll just keep an eye on him.
And you make it deeper throughout the camp and starting to go through some of the Escandian camps until you're at what seems to be the outskirts of the what is planned to be Phoenix Rest. And you see a couple of like, what do you call those? Stakes in the ground, kind of mapping out an area that's ready to be built upon. And you see an individual in full plate armor speaking to a woman. Her hair is red and kind of frizzy and curly. She stands arm folded, tapping her feet. She has like sort of like a white creamish blouse with those big pluffy shoulders and a green and brown sort of drop waist skirt that kind of sways in the wind as it blows by. And Ersid, as you're looking, you see a little girl, her hair bigger than her head, and she's talking to Lachlan. In between them sits a hog. It's been killed. They both smile and laugh and figure out what to do with it. Well, Lachlan says, we should take it to Ersid. He'll know what to do. He's one of our best cooks. And Maisie speaks. Big brother Ersid? I love when he cooks. Nothing against Mom, but there's a real ruggedness that he has that she just doesn't. And Lachlan kind of laughs. That ruggedness is called burnt. It's not exactly a good thing. And the image fades as your sister turns back to you, the face of an adult woman. No smile, no frown, vacant as she meets your eyes. Trust, you assume, the man in the plated armor sort of looks and turns between you two, and he starts to walk over to your party, while Maisie sits starstruck. Ersid, how do you feel right now?
I mean, IRL, I feel fucking depressed.
Emotional damage.
Man. You know, I feel like a lot of people might do this, but when constructing my background, I just kind of used elements of my life.
Oh,
You know, and I have, well, I
didn't.
like simple structure. Like, I have a sister and I have a brother. So like, so now that I've done that, and you tell me that vision that Erza just had, I'm like thinking about if this was real, I would just be so devastated. So yeah, I can only imagine Erza
Pretty
is just
devastated.
like frigid, like terrified to talk to Maisie. And you know, it's funny though, because like had Kane not told me that she was also mad at me, he would be fine to talk to her, because when we left on pretty decent terms. When I was banished, I left on decent terms with her. I don't know what's gone on in the several years since then, but now, yeah.
Okay. Okay. That gives me a good idea. While you're kind of stuck there, Trust walks up, kind of breaking you out of your sort of stupor with his voice. So, excuse me, I am Trust, leader of the Zephyrs of the New Dawn and leader of Phoenix Rest. I assume, and he kind of looks over at his guard, who's kind of like, he keeps trying to speak up, but Trust keeps talking. And he looks and he kind of just pats him on the shoulder. That stalwart here was bringing you to me.
We are Kairos.
Have you heard of us?
Kairos. I believe there was a fellow here who said something about Kairos, or at least a couple of friends that may have. He was long, dark, midnight blue hair.
I don't think it was long. Remember, he cut it.
Oh yeah, he was short, shoulder length.
Kane.
Kane. Yes, and you are his friends. Well, it is good to be in the grace of such good company. I hope the name Kairos grows to be a household name.
Sure.
Well,
Ersid is like having a hard time listening. He's just kind of looking at Maisie behind him.
why'd you do that?
It slipped through the back. I forgot there was a hole there.
And Maisie finally kind of like breaks out of her stupor and starts walking towards you all with a level of haste that is quite noticeable between the six of you that stand seeing this woman charging forward, who makes her way past Trust, past Stalwart, past all of you to Ersid, and she slaps you in the face and keeps walking.
Ooh. That's a good sign because there's, emotion in that.
She just kept walking like to go past me,
Yes.
Go get her.
and I turned to Vincent and Narissa, and I was like, "Yeah, remember about how I said I thought how this would go? This is about how I thought it would go."
Mm-hmm. Well,
I turn and I'll try and walk after her.
Okay. And you're walking after her, and she's walking kind of fast, but you can kind of tell she's expecting you to keep up. And she looks back in a huff every once in a while and keeps an eye on you. She starts passing by some of the makeshift homes and tents that aren't Iskandian, that aren't like just like the hide and things like that are actually permanent domiciles. She'll grab some wood and she just tosses you a bundle.
Pushes me a bundle of wood.
Yes.
I'll catch it.
And she keeps walking. You see she has wood in her hands as well.
Maisie, I imagine like as I'm trying to walk up to her, walking with her, I'm shouting her name. Not shouting, but like, Maisie, wait, please.
And she's just walking ignoring you.
Where is she getting this wood from?
Just by one of the structures that looks like it was being built. It looks like firewood.
Okay. And she's collecting wood herself?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then I'll. And like I guess in Ersid's mind, in an effort to like understand what she's trying to do and to show her that I mean peace, like I'll try and pick up even more wood. Like maybe if I can pick up 2 more bundles and then walk after her.
even more wood.
I
And
carry
you keep
all the church stairs.
I can carry so much more wood.
Carry all the wood. As you you keep picking this up and you keep trying to speak to her. What is it? Oh,
Wait, Mikasa, wait.
no.
It does give that for sure.
Give me just 1 second. JC has procured my focus, unfortunately.
Okay.
Okay, so you're grabbing this wood, you're screaming out Mikasa as she, does her thing. You're trying to get your scarf back.
Yeah.
And she comes to this stump that is next to an Iskandian tent that you notice is your old family tent where you would sit with your mother, with your brother Lachlan, with Maisie, and tell stories deep into the night until inevitably your younger siblings fell asleep before you, and your mother would give you all sorts of praise. Ersid, you're a great big brother, you know that? I don't know where I would be, or these kids would be without you. And that somberness is cut by a crack like thunder as you see Maisie bringing down a hatchet on top of a piece of wood that she set on the stump as it splits in half. Well, where the hell
Give her
have you
another
been?
one.
And
Give her another piece of wood.
she swipes it from you and cracks it right down the middle quite proficiently. Well?
I've been looking for Lachlan.
Yeah, looking for Lachlan for what, 20, 30 years now? And where is he? She kind of motions for another piece of wood.
Give it to her.
She cracks it right open.
Well, actually, that's the thing is, I finally found him. Or, really, he found me, is really how it went. But I know where he is.
Yeah, do ya? And she points the hatchet at you as she starts getting closer, waving it around. Then where is he? Tell him right now, come home.
He's changed, Maisie. I tried talking to him, and he's fuck. Wow, man, my real life brain is forgetting where he is.
The last time you saw him was the Black Bark Tangle.
Yeah. He has. The last time I saw him, he was at the Black Bark Tangle.
And
yeah.
She swings the hatchet right into the ground next to your feet. Well, good. The tangle's close. So why don't you go there and fetch him and keep your promise to me then?
Maisie, I've been trying it. I've tried to. He's changed, Maisie. He's not himself. He hasn't been for a long time. However, he disappeared that one night. Something took him. I'm convinced of it, that this is not the machinations of his own.
What the hell does that even mean, Ashley? We all change.
It's that he hasn't changed.
Maisie, but he's changed.
So have I, Ersid. The only one who hasn't changed here is you, it seems like. You come here, you don't even say hi. You just stare at me. You forgot who I was as well? That's probably why you can't find Lachlan. He's changed too much for you. You don't even recognize him.
No, that's not it. Not at all. I think about you and Lachlan damn near every day. And I think about Elsa, her mother. I didn't say anything to you because I didn't know what I could say. My friend Kane, who had come here a few days ago, a few weeks ago, told me that he didn't care where I was or if I was alive or not. And I was terrified.
Well, how am I supposed to care, Ersid? Not a word. Not a letter. It's been so long since I seen your face. And now, not even sure if I want to.
I mean, I was banished from the tribe. Couldn't show my face. I should have written
But
letters.
you were
I'm
supposed to
sorry.
prove them wrong. You weren't supposed to be vanished. You were supposed to come back with Lachlan. And everything was supposed to be better. And now look, here I am. Alone. Half the elders are dead. The rest of them lie on their deathbed. Mother's gone. Lachlan's gone. And you left me here, I said. Not even a letter for me to cry into at night. To know that you are alive.
Should have written more. I'm sorry. I truly, truly am sorry for that.
Roll persuasion at disadvantage.
$16.
Sure you are. And even now, sure you're not even here. And she grabs the hatchet, pulls it up violently as she grabs some more wood from you, sticks it on the stump, starts to break it. You're not even here to see me. You came here with your friends to do God knows what. So, Ersid, why are you here?
I'm here because I'm trying to be bigger than just me and my feelings. I'm here because I don't know if you heard Erid's finest, but they have some really bad intentions for Elbrinn. Yes, I left the tribe with the intention to find Lachlan and bring him back. That has proven to be more difficult than I initially anticipated. I have not given up. I've made progress. I know where he is. But now I find myself in the middle of something. Something that concerns all of us, to be frank. And the safety of Elbrinn itself rests upon what happens concerning Erid and Erid's finest. I don't know how much you know about it, but we sit upon the precipice of a great war, and me and my friends are here to stop that from happening, to stop more people from dying, to stop people from losing their other people from losing their siblings, their brothers, their sisters. I know how hard that can be firsthand. I can't just sit there and feel good about myself, worrying about my personal life, knowing that that wall of destruction is coming.
And she cracks through another piece of wood. Ersid, I don't care. What about my brother? What about my family? It's been broken up for so long. No matter what happens to Elbrinn, I fear there's nothing that could bring it back together. don't care about Aaron. You sit here and you talk about all the good that you could do. But what good could you do for us, Ersin? Tell me. You stand here in front of me to tell me of all you've done. And none of it has anything to do with me. Hardly even Lachlan. And she walks up to you, tears on her face, as she drives her head into your chest, pounding on you with her hands. I just wanted you to come home. But not like this. Not like this at all.
I guess I'll try and hold her face in my hands, if she allows, and wipe her tears.
Roll persuasion with disadvantage.
26. I rolled a 16 and a 17.
And she raises her hand to try and rip your hands off of her, but she just grabs them and holds them as tight as she can. As you try to wipe her tears away, they keep falling. And she sort of just folds into you.
I'll give her a hug. It really is so good to see you. It really, really is.
And at that,
I know.
she just starts wailing into the night, crying as loud as she can.
Yeah, I guess I'll probably just let her cry, not say anything.
And back to the rest of the party. Trust is tending to...
I need a drink.
I'm sure that's going so well and not sad at all.
Can we get back to politics?
I need to talk about what we're going to do for the war.
And Trust is kind of tending to a fire as he's getting you guys all basically like some soup and things going down. This is Phoenix's best. It's really just a sort of chicken broth. I like to make it. It seems to keep everyone well and working. So, we are down a friend. Tell me, why do you request my presence?
We met up with your friend Wine Marrow quite a few months ago. Actually, years at this point, I believe. Year and a half.
Your Wine Marrow's friend from the Moor.
The more.
Ah, and you helped with all the bards, which we have many bards here now. They tend to take good care of us, at least the entertainment. We would have liked the... Anyway. Nice to finally put some faces to names. I didn't...
Narissa.
And you. He looks at you, Vincent.
My name's Vincent. I was there when all this happened, but I'm here now. And he takes like a big sip of the soup.
And it's good soup. You're enjoying yourself.
Can you pat the dog? Can you drink the soup?
Two musts for any video game. Anyway, Trust is like, Vincent, good to meet you. So, you met Wine Marrow, you did some good back then. You met...
Who? We recently spoke with him at the moor as well, but we are on a time crunch, as we always are, so we went ahead of him to get here.
See, well, good to know my friend is safe. Strange, I feel like I should have went to the moor before all of them. Would have been nice to meet you and introduce ourselves properly.
How many of there are you? There's you and who and...
Wine Marrow.
Wine Marrow. Just the three?
We are the ones who call ourselves the Zephyrs for now. This, and he kind of looks around, is going to be our guild hall. when it's done.
I understand.
Well, it is good to have someone who has the experience.
I mean, we built our own tavern that is now being occupied by Arid soldiers.
He kind of folds his arms. Eddard soldiers. So you came to talk to me about getting them out of your guild hall?
We came to talk to you about our war efforts, so to speak. I do not know you, I do not know where you stand on politics, but I know that Arid wishes to destroy all magic and anyone who uses it. So,
Well, we can't be having that quite, can we?
I don't think so.
And how do we help?
Well, what are your strengths?
My strengths. I tend to not think that I should speak for myself, but I'm quite proud of what we are establishing here. It's not easy to build a kingdom, let alone a village. But look around you. Escondi is here, and many others. And I feel like I've guided them to a good place. So if I can say my strengths or anything, it is bringing people together and protecting them.
A good leader is always necessary.
He shrugs.
And your friend's Wine Marrow is... I know what Wine Marrow can do. I've seen him in combat.
I certainly hope he impressed you.
He was sneaky.
He tends to be. Every good adventuring party has one.
I suppose what we will ask of you is what you are willing to provide. At the moment, we are looking to use Weisgard as our primary force against Arid. But we can only attack them from one side. We do not wish to hurt more people than necessary, or bring more people into this skirmish than necessary either. We would hope to be able to... I mean, I don't wish to divulge all of our plans to you, not that I don't think that you are a trustworthy person, but, you know, the more people know about something, the more likely it is to get out. But we have plans that I cannot share right now because the haters are trying to sabotage me. We have plans to stop the war in a way that hurts the least amount of people. However, we need people to run distractions.
What exactly does that entail? He kind of leans forward. You can see he's taking an interest in this conversation. He's taking you seriously.
How good are you in a fight? I mean, my group and I are worth quite a few men on our own. Wine Marrow, I would say, is...
Can I know your enemy? And
What do you want to know about him?
I want to know if his class levels are higher than 13, and I want to know if his strength score is higher than 18.
Let me
Well,
see.
that's an interesting. That's a useful.
Little tool, yeah.
Because if you use both of those, because if his class level is higher, but his strength is lower, then you know something else about it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Equal and superior.
Oh, this guy's strong as fuck.
Right.
Oh wow, you have a strength score of 18. Oh, you're a fighter.
Yeah,
Okay,
Vincent's strong.
yeah.
He's not dexterous.
Yeah, he just hit you really hard in your weak spots. He doesn't take
He's
advantage of them.
A
Hardy.
stout, hardy.
Yeah. Yeah, Vincent. Vincent checks him out.
Checks him out.
I imagine he just he feels his bicep really
Really subtly.
yeah,
Across
subtly.
the bicep.
He's not even flexing
Like
it.
as
It's
just we're getting soup and just brush past it.
You're like,
Touches
oh
it.
man,
Whoa.
he doesn't even need this armor. His body's so rock hard.
This guy's wearing a helmet, right? I can't tell
Yeah.
if he's hot.
No.
I'll just pretend.
You are a floozy, I knew it.
No! This is strictly for JC's imagination.
Okay, so
okay.
JC's a floozy. Got it.
You're obviously quite strong.
You know,
You're being humble.
it takes a trained eye to notice. So you must be quite strong yourself.
I make do.
Well, if you are walking with this Narissa I've heard of, and the Kairos I've heard whispers of, and the Kane who introduced himself to me, you must be doing well. I think I'd like to say I have a trained eye as well.
Is this man a paladin? I can't tell, but he gives paladin.
Yeah, he's giving paladin.
Well, then it seems like you are just fine to hold your own in a fight, which can be useful when it comes to a war, especially someone who is as good of a leader as you.
Are you a paladin?
Do you ask that?
I'm gonna go walk around, start asking people, "Are you a wizard?
Hey, are you counting?
Are you a warlock?"
No, I mean you're strong and you have a keen eye, which means you have high wisdom, and you're wearing plate armor.
Wait, did you really ask him that?
Well,
It's up to you if you want to ask him that.
paladin would be a job in the world, right?
Yeah, it would.
Let
It
me-
would be like, "Are you like a Are you a paladin?"
Yeah.
That's not an
Okay, let me rephrase it. I say,
emissary of
What-
faith.
as we're talking about what kinds of distractions to run in this assault on Arid, it would be nice to know where your strengths lie. You're very strong. You're a keen leader, perceptive.
Are you a paladin?
Are you? Yeah.
That is very sweet of you, Vincent. My strengths are generally athletic, but I do happen to inspire others. I try to lead by my actions, not my words. This magic I carry, some might call it holy, but I just call it mine. And as long as it serves me well, I know it will serve those under me well.
He's a paladin. I think
There is one problem with the magic is that at Arid, there's a magical anti-magic mumbo jumbo field. I'm just a simple dwarf.
which is why we would want to try and pull them out of it, because yes, we would all be rendered quite not useless, but to our most basic abilities.
I have
Yeah,
heard much of
that's
this
generally-
mumble jumble field. So we need to find a way to draw the snake out of its den.
Yeah.
Don't forget ranged artillery. I know I'm not there, but we
Yeah.
talked about it, so.
I assume Weisgard would have some. Like, maybe we could ask these people if they. Because they do have artificers, so maybe they could make, like, bombs or something. You know, maybe less,
Yeah.
like, giant machinery and more, like, small ammunition type things.
Yeah, let's ask him that. In addition to your own prowess, your own Faith, you have quite the village of builders here. Lots of people very good at constructing things. We were, as we discussed it on the way over here, talking about maybe constructing some sort of artillery, some sort of machinery, or fortresses, or anything in a support role like that. Do you think that your town here would be up to that task?
He folds his arms. So, you're asking me to ask these refugees born anew to go back into a life of violence. Is that correct?
Only if they are willing.
And if they are not?
Then they are not. You do not
They're
want
not
soldiers that do not want to help. Forcing someone into a role doesn't make them good at it.
I would not be happy to ask these people to go and become soldiers. They just want to be with their families. They want to eat safely and sleep safely. I can promise you the efforts of the Zephyrs, but I will not forsake the lives of those who live at Phoenix Rest. If not hands for war, what about the hands of healing?
We will take anything.
Yeah, we're looking for every opportunity. Honestly, the fact that you value your people so much is what makes me sure I can trust you.
Thank you. Kind words, Vincent. You will have of us what you need. If there is war, it threatens the people who live here, and I assure you, I will not let it reach them. And those who can find themselves behind the walls of Phoenix Rest, I will ensure that they will be aided, healed, and mended properly and as fast as possible. It may not be the easiest place to get to. Depending on how you can support us, I might be able to have some of my people go closer to the battle lines, wherever they may be.
Perhaps we have allies in the Redolent Woods. Towards the bottom of it, before the mountains of Arid. Maybe that would be a good place.
Now, you said you had other plans. I fear us making a plan here, right now, would be at a deficit.
Would you be willing to come to Weisgard?
4.
That is where all of our plans kind of coalesce.
Everything intersects there on the 5th.
They're having a very large meeting. It does involve the war and Waipo of Malitushu. Anyone who's anyone is gonna be there.
Roll persuasion.
Jesus, these are so bad. I'm gonna add my commanding presence to it.
Nice.
15.
He leans back and he looks up through his helm into the stars above. The faint glow of what seems to be the budding crescent moon. And he looks at you. Weisgard. It has been long since I've been there. Fine. When do we leave?
leave?
Who would probably have to leave
At least the 5th.
like yeah,
The day of.
like the second or the third.
Well, how
If
long
it,
is he gonna walk there, or is he gonna be teleported with us?
well, we have a bunch of shit to do all over the place, don't we? Like, are
We
we gonna
do.
take him to Chol?
Well, yeah.
You want to
like-
come with
like-
us?
I know. So, like, it kind of sounds like he should walk there by himself.
Yeah, so he would need to leave on like the second.
The meeting is on the 5th. Right? At the
Yes.
plentiful moon.
Good. And how long will you find yourselves here?
Not
Not
much.
long at all.
Yeah, not much longer. We have.
It's still the evening of that second day, right? So we'll
Yeah.
probably just go to sleep and then, or yeah, we could teleport
We
tonight.
could teleport tonight, yeah.
Yes, we could.
Not long at all.
Not long at all.
It is a shame. You ask for my help, but I see no help offered. Not for our people.
What do you want?
Help us build. You have until the 5th. If it is truly pressing, I understand, but if you can save some time for us, I know I and many of Phoenix Rest would appreciate it.
What if we spent a day here? Ersid
Yeah.
reads. You and I, we help build
I'm actually
a show.
a pretty good painter.
A show
I'm a
of
pretty
good
good
faith.
leather worker.
Good. Then you can work with the bedrolls and maybe teach the kids something. Get their minds going. Get them creative while their parents work and hustle. And you, I can
Yeah.
tell your body is made for work. So I assume you will meet me with the carpentry.
Never built anything before.
Well, maybe we will not ask you to build, but when things need to be carried, I'm sure those arms will work well.
Good at that.
Good. Then one day,
Yes.
that much I can agree to. And he kind of sticks out his hand, his gauntleted hand, all full of armor, and he shakes yours. Well, Kairos, consider yourself welcome to Phoenix Rest.
We appreciate it. It's nice to meet a friendly, I would say face, but I can't see you.
She really wants to see his face.
And he kind of plays with the locks and all the belts and buckles at the top of his helmet. And it sort of splits in half from the top. And as he pulls it off, you see the face of a dragonborn, golden in color. His eyes blue like sapphires, his scales reflecting like golden mirrors. A couple of scars, only a couple. And he
I can tell you do not lose often.
Well, I will not toot my own horn. But as your friend says, he thinks I am strong, and sometimes so do I. And he puts his helmet back on.
All right. We will sleep for tonight. We will spend the day tomorrow helping you. Ersid will read all day, and then we leave the day after.
Sounds like a plan. And with that, I think we will close for the night. And it sounds like we got a big conversation coming up next time. So get everything prepared. Let me know all your notes, and everyone who's watching, Thanks for tuning in. It's been fun. Have a good night and a wonderful leap day, everybody.